You could put an end to painful swelling in your legs, feet, and ankles. Ease that tight, heavy feeling. Get relief from tender, sensitive skin. Fight skin ulcers. Improve redness and discoloration, and feel truly healthy again. That means you could have more energy, better mobility, and more freedom than you've had in years. That's where the Goldilocks effect comes in. You see, once I understood how central the lymph system is to your health, and how modern life is constantly clogging it, everything changed. I realized almost no one is addressing the real root cause of swollen legs, fatigue, and that heavy, waterlogged feeling. Lymph vessels trapped in sticky biofilm, unable to drain away waste. I became obsessed with helping this system flow freely again, not with drugs or compression bandages, but with natural activators. And that's when I stumbled onto something incredible, a set of colonial-era records, buried in missionary archives. Inside were notes from indigenous healers, describing how a strange, spiky fruit was used not only to calm inflammation and heal wounds, but also to relieve edema. European authorities at the time dismissed this as witchcraft. In some colonies, healers were fined, jailed, or even driven out of their villages for using it. Much of this wisdom was nearly erased. The more I heard, the more amazed I became. Could these healers really have discovered something that powerful centuries ago? I knew I had to find out if modern science could back them up. That's why I had my team dig into every single journal, article, and study we could find about edema. And right before we were ready to give up, we hit gold. We found a natural compound that can slice through biofilm like a hot knife through butter. And the proof is overwhelming. Take a look at this study from the Journal of Applied Microbiology. Scientists tested it on some of the toughest biofilm they could find, and the results were shocking. In just 2 hours, this compound dissolved over 85% of the biofilm. When I saw how well it worked, I knew it was exactly what we needed. I'd watched my patients struggle for years. Here was something that could finally help my patients feel like themselves again. Now you're probably wondering, what exactly is this mysterious compound? Believe it or not, it actually comes from pineapple. It's called bromelain, and it's a powerful enzyme found naturally in pineapple. But here's where it gets even better. Bromelain doesn't just break down biofilm in your lymph vessels. It clears out the bacterial sludge clogging your lymph nodes, and it helps restore your weakened lymph muscles back to full strength. Most people don't realize this, but when biofilm breaks down, it releases a flood of toxins. This is biofilm's last chance to destroy your lymph system. But bromelain fights these toxins, all while destroying biofilm throughout your entire lymphatic network. And the science is clear. Studies show bromelain can speed lymphatic drainage by an astonishing 50%. This means your lymph vessels can finally drain, your lymph nodes can filter properly again, and your lymph muscles can pump with the strength they had years ago. Now, bromelain is powerful at clearing out biofilm and sludge, but it can't address everything. My next edema buster is a natural compound called Coumarin. It's been used by herbalists for thousands of years, and modern research shows why. In a gold standard double-blind trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine, patients with edema took either a placebo or Coumarin. The placebo group stayed the same or got worse, but those who took Coumarin saw swelling in their legs drop by 33%. Surprisingly, the worse their edema, the faster they improved. Even better, Coumarin helped relieve the tight, hard, heavy feeling in their legs too. It also helps boost the circulation in your blood vessels too, which means it could help put an end to cold feet and get rid of that uncomfortable pins and needle sensation. Now personally, my favorite source of Coumarin is lemon peel. It's one of the easiest, most inexpensive ways to support your lymph system and your immune system at the same time. But even with Coumarin helping circulation and lymph flow, there's still a problem, because years of biofilm damage leave your lymph muscle cells weak and worn down. Even after the biofilm is gone, those muscle cells need to be rebuilt and strengthened. That's where my next edema buster comes in. It's called Rutin, and it's found in citrus peels, buckwheat, and apples. Rutin is what scientists call a vascular protector. It makes your lymph vessels stronger, and it shields your muscles from the damage stress, toxins, and aging can cause. Rutin also works deep inside your body to repair those damaged lymph muscle cells, so they can start pumping powerfully again. And here's proof. Scientists tested Rutin on people with circulation problems like edema. After 8 weeks, leg swelling went down by an astounding 41%. Even better, scans showed their blood vessel walls had gotten stronger and healthier. That means Rutin isn't just protecting your vessels, it's helping revitalize them from inside out, which is exactly what your weakened lymph muscles need. And there's more. Rutin also revives the tiny valves in your lymph vessels. These valves are supposed to keep fluid flowing out of your body. When they're broken, fluid flows backward and pools in your legs and feet. Rutin supports the cells that form your lymphatic valves, so fluid finally drains out the way it should. But here's the thing, even with revitalized vessels and valves, your body is still drowning in years of toxic fluid. And it's the job for this edema buster, a worthless weed that most gardeners destroy without a second thought. But European herbalists have guarded this secret for centuries. It's called Cleavers. And when it comes to moving stagnant lymph fluid, nothing else comes close. Cleavers is what scientists call a lymphatic stimulant, but I call it nature's power flush. It jolts your sluggish lymph system back to life, liquefies thick, sticky lymph fluid so it flows like water again, and supercharges your lymph nodes so they can filter out years of accumulated waste. Herbalists have relied on Cleavers for centuries to help the lymph system flush out waste and reduce puffiness fast. That means you could start feeling relief from swelling and heaviness faster than you ever thought possible. Now, before I show my next edema buster, there's something you should know. For years, doctors have been preaching about the dangers of salt. However, study after study proves it's not the amount of sodium you need to worry about. It's the ratio of sodium to another important mineral in your body, potassium. Now, potassium and sodium aren't just minerals, they're electrolytes too. And when it comes to staying hydrated, they're critical. If you have kids, you might remember your doctor asking you to make sure they stay hydrated when they get sick. And he might have suggested giving them an electrolyte drink. They won't let me say the name, but it rhymes with Medialyte. Athletes are into electrolyte drinks for the same reason. And it's because electrolytes help maintain the balance of fluid in your body. Now, obviously, if you're suffering from edema, then there's a problem with that, right? So here's the truth. And in my opinion, this is just another example of mainstream willingness to throw your health under the bus. When you take water pills, they drastically affect the balance of fluid in your body. By making you pee more, they're washing out essential electrolytes like potassium and magnesium. And your body must have these electrolytes in order to move fluid in and out of your cells. When you're low on potassium and magnesium, it can make your edema even worse. It can also cause irreparable damage to your kidneys. Now, most people don't get enough of these in their diet. For example, you need about 5 grams of potassium per day. You'd have to eat about 12 bananas just to come close to that number. I don't recommend doing that, by the way. It might have some very unpleasant consequences. However, there is one food that's packed with both potassium and magnesium, and that's my next edema buster. It's called Kelp, and 1 cup contains a whopping amount of both potassium and magnesium. Magnesium helps control the amount of fluid in your body and can help stop swelling, especially in your legs and feet. It also strengthens your muscles and nerves, which keeps your blood flowing properly. That makes it a great way to add a natural source of magnesium to your diet. Now, there's one thing you should know. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, then that means you're also getting high amounts of sodium too. Frankly, even if you're eating a sodium-free diet, but you're low on potassium, it's still a problem. Remember I mentioned the Goldilocks effect earlier? When you're dealing with edema, maintaining the right balance of fluid in your lymph vessels is absolutely essential. You don't want too much, because obviously that leads to swelling. But you don't want too little either, because then you won't have enough to wash away all the toxins and bacteria that are floating around in your body. That's not all though. Not having enough electrolytes is actually life-threatening. It can lead to muscle weakness, heart problems, and even paralysis. Again, when it comes to sodium and potassium, you need the right amount of both. Potassium works together with sodium to create the perfect balance of fluids in your body. You have to address that imbalance to improve your edema and avoid more serious health issues. Now, there's one more compelling reason for adding kelp to your diet, and it has to do with your cholesterol. That may seem like out of left field, but hang in there with me for a minute. Scientists ran a surprising study with mice. These weren't regular mice. They were specially bred to have high cholesterol. When they ran a blood test on the mice, they were surprised to notice one thing, and this was completely unexpected. The mice with high cholesterol levels also had damage to their lymphatic systems. In fact, the higher their levels were, the more edema they had. I did some digging into this, and I discovered that along with getting rid of all that waste, your lymph vessels dump cholesterol out of your body too. If they're not working right, then those fatty deposits build up and narrow your lymph vessels. If you think about it, that makes sense, because this is just what happens with your blood vessels. So why should your lymph system be any different? Fat is fat, wherever it ends up. Kelp, on the other hand, contains a substance called fucoxanthin. There's some early research that shows fucoxanthin can help reduce levels of cholesterol, which means it could be helpful in breaking up those plaques and getting them out of your body. So when it comes to edema, it's a real double hitter. You definitely want to make sure you include it on your next shopping list. Next up is one of my most surprising edema busters. It's so powerful, the Pilgrims even took it with them on the Mayflower. It's called Taraxacum officinale, but you may recognize it by its common name, Dandelion. And even though most homeowners spend their time trying to get rid of them, new research proves our ancestors were right all along. When it comes to your edema, Dandelion packs a powerful punch. It turns out Dandelion contains two natural compounds called taraxacin and taraxacarin. Both of these give your kidneys a push, so you pee more and pee often. And although most conventional diuretics lower your potassium levels, Dandelion actually raises them. That's because the leaves contain a surprisingly high amount of potassium, which means it actually helps protect the health of your kidneys and your heart. In fact, it works so well, it's actually listed as a non-prescription medicine in Germany. Okay, so now you know my top edema busters. Every one of these can help you ease pain, reduce inflammation, and flush your lymph vessels of that nasty wastewater. But the real power of these wonderful substances happens when they're combined together. That's because while each one of them is powerful all on its own, together they make up a medley of superfoods that are absolutely astonishing. Look, there's no reason why you have to hobble along on bloated legs or swollen feet, especially when there's an all-natural proven solution that could help you get back on your feet again. Just imagine how different things could be. You could go for a lazy afternoon walk with your spouse, spend a day out shopping with your friends, or visit the park with your grandchildren. And instead of hiding your edema behind baggy pants and ugly shoes, you could finally wear all your favorite clothes again. There's no doubt about it. Once you feel like yourself again, everything could change. No more relying on your family and friends to help you do the simplest things. Instead, you'd be happier, healthier, more independent. And you'd finally be able to live the life you deserve. Look, I know these edema busters can make a huge difference in your life. My colleagues and I have been recommending them for years now, and we've seen hundreds of people have life-changing results. However, it's not always easy. First of all, many foods are nutrient poor. That's because large corporations are planting and harvesting crops in ways that help them grow more, but are bad for the soil. This prevents plants from absorbing nutrients from the soil. At the same time, oil spills and raw sewage can make it hard to harvest good quality kelp and dandelion. Even if you manage to find all the foods you need, you still need to eat it all. And the sheer amount you'd have to eat every day could be overwhelming. That's why I decided to take matters into my own hands. I got together with the experts at Pure Health Research, and together we created a fast, effective solution guaranteed to give you long-lasting relief from your edema. It's called Lymph System Support, and it's the only supplement specifically designed to tackle the root cause of your edema, your lymph vessels. Every single ingredient is scientifically proven to help your body unclog your lymph vessels and flush the wastewater out of your system. If you want to decrease water retention, reduce edema, relieve pain, ease heaviness, decrease inflammatory activity, and feel stronger with more energy than you've had in years, then Lymph System Support is the best way to do that.